Bye.
Bye. What's up, guys? I think everybody can hear me okay here. Hope everybody's doing well. So we're here. So, hey, what I wanted to share with you guys today, really quick, is this: some really cool some really cool apps that I found have actually been have been helpful in reference to just being at home. So I know we've heard these to a few people here, so I'm going to show them to you, and then I'd love to get your feedback. We'll actually go on the chat. I'm going to log in here on my other computer here for John Costigan live. That way I can kind of got two screens going here. Hang on, bingo, here we go. Here we go. So let's do this here. See who's live. I don't want that. Let's go to let's go to switch account, and let's get us all on here. Okay, so I think we're good to go. And set live. Tech tips, here we go, live now. There we go, we're live. All right, so awesome. So let me get some let's say I got my chat box, we're all good. All right, so let me show you really cool, and I've done a couple of these. I know I've done them on LinkedIn and what have you, some other ones, but in terms of I've referenced a few apps. So let me show you a couple apps that are really, really cool that have helped me, and then I'll look at the chat, and if anybody has any feedback, feel free to hit me up, and I'll answer any questions that you have. So number one is Loom. Loom is, and I've referenced it before, Loom is just a really, really cool app that allows you to communicate and do a screen record. I'll tell you why I like it so much. Number one, if you want to record your screen, you can even use it on your iPhone as well. It's got a great app. I'll show it to you. And here's the value behind Loom. So when you do this, you hit on the, and I'll show you right now. When I right now on my phone, you'll see right now when you look at this, you'll see at the bottom here, you guys, if you see, you got choices. You have choices between, you can either do a screen record, or you can do just a camera view. Well, a lot of times, think about if you wanted to ever send a video to somebody on your iPhone. The problem is that the file is so big that you got to now take it and download it to the cloud, and then you got to get the link from the cloud, and then send that to somebody to see the link, and it's too many extra steps. And so what this does is that you can actually record right now just me on a video. So if I want to share this with just my friends and family and say, hey man, I'm thinking about you during COVID-19 or whatever it is, you can do really, really quick videos. Like right now, at this second, I am recording right now. So I'm recording right now as I'm talking to you. I'm going to hit record, and I can say whatever I want. Hey Bob, hey Judy, whatever I'm talking to. I can leave a message, number one. Number two is this. When I'm on email, you guys, like I just did 3 or 4 of these on email, where instead of me typing, because I know I can type or I can do Siri, but I go, heck with it. I'll just leave a quick video, and it's on your desktop as well. So I just hit Loom, and then I just go, hey, I just got your email. Here's the thing. Like right now, I was actually leaving an email for my banker, and I said, hey, here's what's going on. I don't want to type this whole thing up. This is what I'm trying to do right now with everything going on with the stimulus program, the stimulus package, bada bada bada. So it was like a 3-minute video, and then as soon as I hit done, it goes right to, and this fast, just like on the phone. You see, now I'm talking, right? So I'm recording right now as I'm talking. So when I hit done, as soon as I hit done, it now shows me the link. So right there, you'll see it's turning black. If I can show that right now, there it is. There's the link. I can now take this right now, and I just go share. I can share it on a message, on an email, or anything, or I could shut this guy up, okay? So right now it says send your video. When you hit send, choose any way you want to send it. It sends it through your email. It can send it through text. And it's a really awesome way to get stuff out to people where you don't have to be really formal and you want to get a message over to somebody. It's worked phenomenal in terms of just getting stuff over to people quickly on a video. And the link is instantaneous. So that's one way. Number two is that for those of you who are in the sales space, you guys, I just had a conference call this morning. I just had a call this morning with one of my one of my clients, one of probably top 100 largest clients in the world. And I said, hey, you may want to look at possibly doing this when you're looking at getting back to a customer or even a prospect. Now, a prospect, I wouldn't start it maybe out of the gate, but I definitely may do it if I reached out a few times on email, where I'd be very, very intimate, even in my subject line of saying, to say something like, Bob, just want to be completely transparent. And then in the body, I'd say, hey, Bob, I provided a very quick link because I think, because my biggest fears may have become realized. If you have a moment, could you click on the link? I'll explain. And what's really cool, when people click on the link, you get an immediate notice saying they just watched it. So that's cool. And then, of course, in that scenario that I just laid out for you, that's where you might say, hey, Bob, or Mary, whoever you're reaching out to, just to go, hey, Bob, the reason why I'm giving you this video is, number one, just I hope you're okay. Obviously, with everything going on in the world between, COVID-19 and we're all working from home. So number one, I really hope, and I'm sincere, that I hope your family and everybody is safe. That's number one. That should be the chief concern. Number two, hey, well, my biggest fear is you think I'm going, hi, Bob, let's talk about what I can sell you. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish here. I think that's why I did the video, just to let you know that we're really here to serve and to see if there's any way that, in terms of just, is there a way to help? We actually have some products now. Our company's even provided some free products that we don't charge for anymore because we really want to help people. And this may be something that can help you communicate with your people or whatever that may be, okay, out of role play there. And then I'm back in the role play. I go, and the third thing is, by the way, I'm not sure if you know, with Loom, it's with the app I'm on right now, it's really great. I use it for personal, with my friends, with my family, and I use it for business. A lot of times when I get on a call with somebody, it can go 20 minutes, but if you do a Loom video, I can accomplish what I want to accomplish in 3 minutes. They get it, and they can watch it 2 or 3 times really quick. That way they go, okay, what did he really mean by that? But it's a great way to communicate very effectively and efficiently, and personally with my family. I love just to give a message to my kids or what have you. So anyway, that's what I would say on a video, and I'd say, so really hope we have an opportunity to maybe talk live at some point in time in the near future, and boom. And I was referencing that to my client this morning, and I really encouraged them. I said, hey, I'd love to see you guys actually take action and try that and see how that works for you. So long story short, this is a really, really great app for business and personal because it's instantaneous. You're not downloading all these large files to your PC. It's not even keeping it on your phone. And you're really going to, I think, like it a lot. Once you start mastering it, you think about all the different ways you can use it. So again, I use it in business on email. I use it on personal email. And then I also use it just if I'm on my phone, just want to send something to somebody, just to say, hey, how's it going? Or just even get back on something. So get back to somebody. So there. So that's Loom. Oh, and by the way, you get up to 20 recordings, you guys. And you get up to 20 recordings, and you got, let me turn off this thing here. At that. You get 20 recordings, and I also tell you that if you go past the 20, they even reduce their price. It's now $4 a month. It's $4 a month. So that's what I love about it. Is over and above the usage of it, it's cheap. So there you go. So that's that's Loom. The second one that we have here is what's our second one we were doing? Is Brain Toss. So Brain Toss is a really cool app that was actually made by the guy. Let me see Brain Toss. It came from him right now. It's like, I just drew a blank on his name, and it was from the guy who wrote the book, I think, Get Things Done. And Brain Toss was an app that somebody actually made in terms of, from the book, in terms of Get Things Done, to where, I'll show it to you really quickly. Any time a thought or idea that you have that you want to get out somewhere, here's the problem. So let me go problem. Problem is when you have Evernote or you have Notes or I have Workflowy, I have all these different places that I kind of keep my thoughts and ideas. And Evernote's probably the primary one. I really like Evernote a lot for the ability to, especially if I got an important email that came in, like let's say from my banker or something like that. I know a lot of people use your email as your filing storage thing. I get that. And there's a lot of companies where if you leave too much in there, they might delete it out. But to me, what I like Evernote is where I have a really important email, I'll send it to Evernote. You can actually forward an email right into Evernote, into the account, and you can put it in there. That way it's there forever. You never have to worry about losing it. So you can take emails, screen grabs, all of it, right? Well, the problem sometimes is that you'll make a note into Evernote or Notes or something, and then it turns into the black hole and you don't go back there often. You may not go there, you may not go see it. Well, the one thing I do feel, and this is what when I heard the gentleman doing the interview, he said, email seems to be all of our portal. Everything, I think all of us use email as the central area where everything goes to, and you're seeing it all the time. And then from there, you decide to delete or do something with it, right? Well, Brain Toss, when you open this, here's the app, what it looks like. That's what I'll kind of turn so you guys can see it. It's yellow. That's a good view of it. And what really is cool about Brain Toss is this. Everything you do on here goes into your email, and then from there, you can decide what to do with it. So for example, right now, you'll see that I'm going to hit this off here. So here's the 3 ways you use Brain Toss, okay? So right now, you'll see this button, this microphone. So I can go like this and go, bang, I can hit that, and then right now, it's now recording. Right now, you see it's blinking. It's recording my voice. So I can say, hey, John, remind yourself to, or make sure you get back to, ABC company about blank and blank and blank, all right? And then now I'll hit it again. So as soon as I hit it again, it's now done. It's now spinning, and right there, and then what it did right now, it just took that. I didn't have to do a thing. It just took that voice command I just did. It just sent that voice audio into my email. Okay, that way I got it. I can go, what was this? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you'll notice the other one is, you'll see do it the right way, you'll see the note. That's now a note that I'm making, okay? So I hit the note one, which looked like a little email thing, and then I can either type or I can do Siri. So if I hit Siri on this right now, I can now say, hey, comma, please get back to my staff on doing a live Zoom call or whatever. It just transcribed, if you could see it. It just transcribed that. Actually, as I'm still talking, it's transcribing, right? So when I can just hit done on that, send. I just hit send. It just sent that into my email. Okay? Let me do the last one. Here's the one I think is really cool as well. Pictures. And the one I don't think of as often, but if I see something where, if I'm at a store, I'm like, oh, that's cool. We've all had that happen, like, or you're like, hey, I don't care if you're going shopping for your significant other, go, honey, which one of these should I get? Something like that. What you can do is you can actually hit image. So you have, obviously, if you look at the interface again, I'll tilt it so you can see it. All right. So they got that one the biggest. You hit that, you just talk, and it leaves you the audio. That one is the email one, and then this one is the image one. So if I now hit, sorry, I got a call coming in. All right. So now if I hit the image one, that opens up my camera. That opens up the camera. Okay, and then so when I do that, I can now take a picture. Now, so I'll take a picture of, I don't know, here. I'll take a picture of that. Take a picture of my exercise bike. All right. So right now, you guys, I have not done a thing. And that's the great thing about it. You're not opening up other applications. It's all right in here. So now I'm going to go to my email. All right, and I should have right now. Okay, I should then now have. And that's what I have. You'll see I now have all the brain tosses, okay? You'll see, other than email that came from Courtney, and some other, you'll see the brain toss. Brain toss has now just come into my email, if I could show that to you. Brain toss just came in all 3 times. So for example, the one, here's your brain toss, and you'll notice the MP3 that I played. So if I hit this, okay, and next you know, it will then start to play, and I won't do it, I won't let you guys hear, but they're now played, and I don't have my phone. The audio on, but then it plays. It now plays the audio I just did, and then you'll also see the email I just did, and you'll also see here's the one about and there's the picture of my bike. I mean, everything. It's all right there instantaneously. So that's what Brain Toss does, you guys. It does a great job of any quick thought that you have. It goes into email. That way, when you open up your email, you either say, okay, oh yeah, that's right, I got to do this. And if you delete your email, that means it's done or it's not. But it just is the central repository to collect everything. That's what Brain Toss does. At the end of the day, that's what it does. So with that being said, the other one was something that was just recommended to me, and it's interesting. One of my favorite people is Tim Ferriss. And when Tim interviews people, and he wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, Tools for Titans. He's written a bunch of books, and Tim's a pretty famous guy. I think he does a podcast. He might have over 400 or 500 million downloads. I mean, you got that many downloads, you're pretty major. And so you're probably going, John, where's John going with this? When he interviews people, and man, Tim Ferriss, I mean, if you want to look at who Tim Ferriss is interviewed, if you go to YouTube, who's he's interviewed, Tim Ferriss interviews on his podcast. I mean, this guy has interviewed everybody and their brother. I mean, you name it, he's interviewed them, okay? From Katie Couric to Tim Kennedy to Josh Waitzkin, who they did the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, to authors, to fighter pilots. I mean, you name it, this guy interviews everybody. And the one thing that I realized, you guys, is that when he talks to most people, I'll bet you over 50% of everybody he talks to meditates. And after a while, you start seeing a pattern. You're like, man. I've always had a difficult time meditating. I always have. I kind of get up really early and I start hard and I go hard, and by 10:30 or 11 o'clock, boom, I'm passed out. And they talk about the power of meditation and how it can help. And I'm just really kind of getting into it now. I downloaded that app called Calm, and I started using it. I had a tough time with it. And then I have a recommendation from Courtney. She said, hey, you might want to try this one, which was Insight Timer. And I signed up for it, and 7 days for free, and then whatever the fee is, it's pretty cheap. But I actually started listening and just really kind of start listening to, because there was apps going, how do you meditate? And the first one I went to was like, how do you meditate? Tell me really how you do this and what it's supposed to do for you. And so I just started doing that one. And I started, I haven't been down that long. And I got to tell you, it was really, really cool. And, you know, there's one about just cleansing, you know, it says mind and body, you know, clearing dust from eyes and sight. And actually, it's got, to me, you guys, it almost, I guess there was a part of me kind of thought, hey, is this kind of hokey a little bit? And that's a bad word, but I wasn't sure about meditation because I'd be so distracted all the time. And I had somebody actually tell me, they said, you have a, yeah, you got a weird brain. But they describe my brain as it's really hard for this thing to slow down. And the one thing I have learned is that the little times I have tried this, it does kind of rejuvenate me. It really does. It kind of gives me more energy and it gives me more clarity, and I don't get so distracted. I'm not all over the map as much. So, but anyway, that app I would tell you is called Insight Timer. Great app. Even though I've just gotten it, but what I've seen on it, I like a lot. So that to me, you guys, if I was going to give you a few apps that I think can work really good for you at home, and yeah, there's apps like Slack. Slack allows you to communicate with your people. That's a very, very popular app and technology. It allows you to almost have that online chat with you and the other people in your company. And it's kind of helps you with process management. Everybody's on the same page. What are we all working on? You can communicate there. That's actually been a really good app for me. And I think there's probably, Amazon's been a good app. I mean, is there anybody not using Amazon right now? Oh my God. I mean, the hard thing is just getting stuff from Amazon. But I think at the end of the day, you guys, those are probably the 3 or 4 big ones. Here's the one last one I'll tell you, which isn't a new one, but I think it's pretty cool and it may help you. I'll tell you a quick story on it, and I'll see if this helps, and I'll see if there's anybody chatting with us, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so here's the one thing I love is that I changed computers a few years ago, and I haven't told the story for a while, but I changed computers. I went from like one computer to another. Now I've had this laptop. This was the first laptop that Macintosh came out with that was 1 terabyte of like flash storage. And I've had this now for like 4 or 5 years, and I still go into the store and they're like, dude, that thing you got is just as fast as the newest stuff coming out. That thing screams. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like, and when I travel around the world, it's like carrying around a Buick. It's heavy, but I love it. It's like, I love this laptop. It's big as hell, but it's got the nice screen. It's got all of it. Well, anyway, when I migrated laptops, okay, I remember one time when I did this, and it was a few years ago, and it said, and Google popped up for some reason and said, would you like to save all of your photos? Now, here's what happened, you guys. About 15 years ago or so, obviously, I used to have the Trio phone. I had all these different phones. I'd go from one phone to another. Then finally, I started to standardize. I even had the BlackBerry, I had all of it. Then I finally standardized on the iPhone. Well, as every time I would go to a different computer, I would migrate the photos over, but it couldn't play it. It couldn't play the videos I took. Like I went to 2006, I went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final with my son Jack. We saw the Carolina Hurricanes win. I had video of it and all of it. Well, then when I upgraded computers, I lost the videos. All it would do, it would only save a screenshot, and that's it. So I get my new computer on here. I get this a few years ago, and Google prompts me and says, hey, do you want to migrate all your photos on your computer to Google Photos? So I'm like, I don't know, yeah, whatever. So I just go, sure, whatever. Maybe I'll have another backup, because I already had it on my PC. So I hit yes, and it took about 4 or 5 minutes, and it comes back and it says, you have 28,000 images and videos. So I'm like, no way. I'm like, they said, would you like to back them all up? I'm like, sure, fine. I just hit yes. Guys, and obviously this is when the internet wasn't as fast, and I probably did this maybe 6, 7 years ago. Just when I got this PC, which probably shows how long I've had this laptop. I hit yes on a Friday night. Sunday, it was still running. It was still, and I'm like, man, I'm getting afraid. I'm like, man, I hope I don't have a virus or something crazy going here. Sunday night, I opened it up, and it was every single photo I had ever taken of my kids, like when they were born, like videos. Every single thing I had was put in there, and it played. They played. I mean, it was kind of emotional, like, oh my God, there's my baby Gracie. You know, I remember when she was eating her chair, and we lost the videos of her with just mess all over her when she was a baby eating, and how she would mimic Jack. Jack would say something, Gracie always said it too, and it was just so cute. And I always used to tell, I used to tell Beth, I go, God, I always wish we could get those videos back. And because back then you had to pull out the camera, right? Let's put out the video camera. I got every one of them, you guys. So one of the things I can recommend to you, one of the coolest apps is if you're not doing Google Photos, you should obviously click on it and let it scan your entire PC. And if you've got stuff that hasn't played and it's not working, this thing just takes it all and it plays on every format you got, it's playing. So it was kind of a lifesaver. It really was very cool. So those are kind of my really big key apps that I probably had the most joy out of. Over and above, probably Evernote. I do love Evernote as well. I think it's a great app as well. It's the #1 note-taking app in the world. And when somebody tells you it's the #1 note-taking app, it's pretty cool. Here's the last one I'll also tell you, okay? There's another cool app for you. This one's called, and this is actually, that's me. That's a reminder of me to keep working out because I'm a fat ass, okay? But this one right here, I've tried a lot of these apps on this. If you don't have an iPad Pro, if you don't have this, okay? To me, I think a lot of us, we all like to take notes. We all like to write when we're on the phone, right? We kind of like to write because I think most of us are writing. We're not typing because we don't want the client sometimes to hear us, just beating out keys. Well, this one's called, actually, this is called Notability. And what this does, you guys, is this is probably the best one I've had so far, where it truly does it allows you to take notes really, really fast when you're taking notes. But number two is that there's a record button up here. When you hit record, you could be on conference calls with somebody. When you're on a conference call, while you're taking notes, it's recording the audio as long as the audio is heard. If you're on your earphones, it's not going to record it. But if it's recording this, I can actually start writing notes right now and hit record. And then when I hit stop and hit play, it all shows gray. And as I'm talking in the audio, it's playing back what I did in real time. So it shows the notes going in. Now, it shows all the notes in gray, but as I'm saying them, it goes to black. And it's like, this is where you're at when you took that note, John. And that's what I love, because sometimes we all write so fast, you look down and go, what the hell did I write? But if you can hear the audio at the time I'm writing it, I'm like, oh, that's what I meant with that word. And this is actually one of my favorite apps. And then I could even take this app, I could take these notes, I could forward them to my people. I go, here, this was me on an audio call. You can hear the audio and you can see the notes I'm writing. Can you take this and like formalize it, put it into our CRM or whatever that may be, right? So this is actually one of my favorite apps as well. And it's I love it. It's just a great app. It's called Notability. And yes, it does also have the areas to where you can then say, hey, I want to make sure this backs up to a Google Drive or any other backup system you have. It can definitely back up to that as well automatically. So other than that, those are kind of the big ones that I have, you guys. And then I guess, to me, that's kind of a summary of all the ones I love. So between Evernote and Loom and BrainToss, Google Photos, and finally, I'd say Notability. Out of the 4 or 5 I've tried, that was actually probably my favorite. So let me see. Anybody else got something else on here? Let me see. So I think it's about. Let me see if anybody's got any chats on here, any questions. So hey guys, so that's our live session today. I hope these apps have helped. And hey, good selling. Hope this helps you become more efficient and productive. And finally, hey man, stay healthy and keep washing those hands. We'll see you, everybody. Take care. Bye.